Get ready. It's time for a well-deserved break, Pittsburgh, with Heather Abraham and David Highfield from the KDKA TV studios. It's Pittsburgh Today Live.
Good morning.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
I was so tired last night.
You slept through it.
Everything. Did not hear a thing. And we are, we don't have central air. So we have the big air conditioning unit. So
right.
I just turned that sucker on.
And you hear nothing.
Nothing. Out cold. And so then I wake up to all these emails and video and
right.
looking at what
the
was
storms
left behind from the storms last night. I cannot believe it.
I heard, we live in Lawrenceville, and I heard just as I was getting ready for bed, I heard like rain hitting the side of the house, like boom, hitting the side of the house. But in Beaver County, they had serious weather. In fact, the National Weather Service is on location there right now to see whether a tornado touched down near Ohioville.
So the early indications are yes, because they were looking at radar indicated on their radar. They also saw something called debris significance or something along.
Oh wow! On the radar, they could see this.
They could see something about debris circulating, and it indicates that. And Ron was saying this is something that in the last 10 years they've added to their list of factors that would say yes, there's a tornado. So they're pretty certain, but it's not official. It's not confirmed yet. So they're going to be back out there today taking a look at some of that.
And some of the damage here, you can see that's the Tuska Plaza. Some of it was also in Beaver Falls. In fact, there was one couple that were trapped in their house for a time whenever a pole with power lines snapped. And so they had to wait for the power to be turned off. And some people this morning still don't have power. So
there is a video that we wanted to share with you this morning. There's nothing entertaining about a storm, right?
Right.
But these people were just having a blast watching what was happening in the distance. This video was taken in Rochester. Take a look at this.
What is that? I don't know. I got it on video. I got it. Like I'm recording. You got it. What is that? Whoa! Look at it. Boom! Whoa! What is that? Look at it. What is that? It's a disco party, dude.
It is not a disco party, dude. That is a serious storm moving through.
Ron tweeted this morning, this is a good video to tell you how dangerous a tornado is at night, because people cannot see it coming. Right. I mean, you should already take cover before you see one coming. You should, heed the warnings. But, here I think we're seeing transformers blowing.
That's what, Ray had indicated that.
Yeah. But interesting video, and what an interesting night.
Weather always fascinates me because it impacts us. It impacts every one of us.
Everybody.
Yeah. So it's always, and it's to me interesting to see how powerful these storms can be.
Right.
So we're seeing a lot of the damage reports. If you go to KDKA.com, a lot of pictures coming in on some of the damage from overnight.
All right, we want to talk about a big announcement from Giant Eagle. It is closing all its stores Saturday morning for an hour, and it's to hold a town hall discussion about racism and social justice, and it's going to be this Saturday morning from 7 to 8 a.m., and they really hope that this is the beginning of really ongoing discussions with the employees there. It's also donating $350,000 to support social justice causes, and it has made the decision to temporarily stop advertising with the Post-Gazette and stop selling the Post-Gazette, and that is after an African-American reporter and a photographer were taken off coverage of the protests over the death of George Floyd and racial inequality. And there's been great controversy over that. The reporter actually tweeted something that the Post-Gazette says shows bias. The photographer supported her. In a statement, the Post-Gazette executive director says the paper will not apologize for, quote, attempting to eliminate bias. But going back to Giant Eagle holding these meetings and making the donations, I think it kind of speaks to what we're seeing other companies do, sports organizations do, colleges and universities coming out, making statements saying, we're pledging to rethink some things. We're going to, look at this in a new way. And, when people talk about are the protests, is there going to be a result, even above ending police brutality, something larger than that, I think this speaks to that. Because, when organizations are looking at themselves and want to have these discussions, we've not really seen that before, not to the level that we're seeing it now.
Well, and I think what's important, too, is here they are having a town hall discussion, and they are including like 30,000 plus employees in that discussion, and it's all about affecting change in each other and as a community. So I think that having those discussions is very important, understanding that people at the top are leading those discussions and trying to implement the change. Really good stuff.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's good
important
that everybody
stuff.
is involved.
Yeah.
All the employees are involved. Everyone's coming to the table. Everyone has a voice.
But please know, this isn't just the Giant Eagle grocery stores. This is also
Right.
Get-Go's that will be closed from 7 to 8 on Saturday morning, Market District locations too. So just keep that in mind if you happen to be out and about on Saturday morning. You're not going to be able to go into those locations.
Right. All right, we have a question for you. Do you need a hug?
In the worst way.
I mean, people miss hugs.
Well-
It's part of our being as human beings that we need physical interaction, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
It makes a difference. It really does.
Everything.
And people, of course, because of the coronavirus, have been scared to give hugs. And, you know, unless it's someone in your household,
Right.
then you're allowed to do it. But the New York Times came out with an article that's getting a lot of attention, and it's the safest ways to hug if you really need a hug. So they went to these experts, and obviously the best advice is to avoid hugs with people outside your household. But if you're going to try a hug, these are some ways to do it and still be as safe as possible. And that's what makes up today's list.
I have to admit something.
What?
I accidentally gave somebody a hug.
You're just overwhelmed and
It
forgot?
was, oh, yes, it was somebody
What
that I
could
had not
happen?
seen in a while, and I just...
Oh, I know who it is.
You
I
do
know
know
who it is because you confessed to me.
I was very excited, and I didn't even think. It wasn't even because...
Well, you have to stop yourself
Yes,
sometimes. You
yeah.
see someone out and you're ready to like shake a hand or give a hug and you've got to stop yourself. But anyway, these are some tips if you're going to attempt a hug. First off, wear your mask. Keep that mask on and hug outdoors.
Sure. Avoid touching the other person's body or clothes with your mask and keep it short, they say.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Don't hug face to face. Instead, turn your face in opposite directions. Let your children hug you, but hug around the knees or waist. Don't like pull them up to your face, even though you might want to do that. And they say it is okay to kiss your grandchild on the back of the head, but kiss through your mask. And they actually have a lot of other tips too. So we have a link to this article at PittsburghTodayLive.com. But you're sighing because you wish we were in a time where we didn't even have to talk about this.
There shouldn't be rules for a hug. I mean, unless, of course, that person does not want you touching them. But,
Well, that's
you
true,
know.
yes.
But if both parties are accepting of the hug and physical contact, it's just, this is all just hard to swallow. I'm
It's
sorry,
very difficult.
but it is.
Like the fact that we're having a discussion about how to hug
Yes.
on this show, would you have thought a year ago?
No.
We would, and I think,
No.
particularly for grandparents, I think the idea that they can't touch, can't hug
Yeah.
their grandkids, and at least this offers some alternatives.
Sure.
So we wanted to share that.
Absolutely.
There you go. And this is an interesting bit of news, too, sticking with the coronavirus. Early results from a study done by the genetic testing giant 23andMe say that apparently your blood type may have to do with whether you are more susceptible to getting the coronavirus.
Yeah, they say type O, or least at risk. And here's what's interesting. I think there's a lot to blood type.
Yes.
There have been, and now not everybody buys into it, but some people think that there's diet specific to your blood type, and there's a lot of research into how it affects each individual person based on your blood type. So I think this is really fascinating.
Yeah, they say type O people are less likely to be hospitalized if they do contract it.
Yeah, 9 to 18% less likely to test positive.
All right.
Interesting.
Well, you know, one of the things we've been talking about is people have been adopting pets during the stay-at-home orders.
Christine Sorensen,
Oh, yeah, she got that beautiful
little
dog.
Rosie.
Oh, little
So
Rosie.
cute.
But, you know, some animal advocates right now, they're a little concerned because they're concerned people go back to work, they might return the dog or the cat to the shelter. And so they don't want that to happen. They're stressing, you know, this is a lifetime commitment. And there's even a puppy shortage in some places with some breeders and some shelters. But they're saying, stick with it. You know, do not turn that dog in if you're going back to work, because that's not what it's about. That's not the kind of relationship it is.
Should we just leave this video? Let's just leave the puppy
I know,
video
doesn't it
up
make
for
you
the
feel better
duration.
just
All right,
to see that?
I thought this was really great news to hear this yesterday, because we are starting to hear about more places opening. So Kennywood announced yesterday that they will be opening to their season ticket holders on July 7th, I believe, and then to everybody else on the 11th.
Right, and they're going to have sort of the same rules in place that we've heard, you know, for Cedar Point and for Disney World. Limited capacity, people have to wear masks, temperature tests whenever you walk in. But You will be able to get Potato Patch fries.
Did you hear any of this story when it aired last night? Because there was a question asked of Nick Paradise, who was the spokesperson for Kennywood, who said, the lines may seem longer, but they're actually going to be shorter because there's going to be timed entrances. They want to keep people social distanced in line, but there will be fewer people in the park, so you may not be waiting as long to get on the rides.
Leave it to Heather Abraham to find the upside.
You got to find it, man.
Yeah. All right, if we have time, I want to share one more thing. Businesses are reopening, and there's video of a McDonald's worker in Wales that has gone viral. His name is Gavin Brewster. He's quite a dancer, and he kept the cars moving at the drive-thru. Watch this.
That's Lady Gaga's new song with Ariana Grande.
Look at this. He's great. He's going to wear himself out. But anyway, you know, everybody was smiling. Everybody's laughing. I love the ladies in the car laughing.
He's just working off those calories so he can get the milkshake and the extra fries. That's
there you
all.
go.
I get it.
Well, tomorrow is Friday, so we want to remind you to send us your questions for the Friday free-for-all tomorrow. We will take as many questions as we can, post them to the Pittsburgh Today Live Facebook page. We will be happy to answer anything.
Almost anything. Yeah.
All right, well, it is time to take a break right now so we can get to today's guests. And coming up, we will talk to a pro when it comes to dining out. Of course, we're talking about Hal B. Klein, about how eating out is these days now that we're in green. And what does he think the next steps will be for area restaurants?
And how about this? Children's Museum of Pittsburgh is holding a big party, and you're invited. It's a virtual affair, of course, the clever idea of dinner delivered to your door. We'll find out about this celebrity-studded Great Night In party ahead.
Plus, let's play. Selena Pompiani and a few friends check out old school recess games for kids to play at home this summer. See if you remember any of these, and maybe you will even learn a new one or two or three.
Thanks for being with us on this Thursday, June 11th, 2020. You're watching PTL, and we are so glad you're here.